your boss or the chairman of your party, Honorable Asedun Ketia, rightly said, okay, on the national television, telling you people to slow down with your fight, for you haven't gone anywhere yet. That is for the public to decide. But Afi, let me still continue with you, because I just have one or two still questions to ask you before. You people have been making noise, and I call it noise, okay, unless probably you differ and you correct me if I'm wrong, about 24-hour economy, 24-hour economy. And with all the explanations we are getting from your own people, okay, I think everybody gives a different explanation as to what really that policy is all about. What is your take on that? Or what is the main?
You will agree with me.
No, I won't agree with you unless you tell me.
All right. Then you will come into terms and agreement with me that here in Germany,
yeah,
we have both, or at a large majority, benefited from 24-hour economy system. And I was telling you, just like I was telling you, I went to work early in the morning, came back, and then the other shift is also running. It will run till 10. And then the night shift is also going to start. So this logic, or this preaching of 24-hour economy being suggested or even brought into light and vividly explained by our flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it's a thing that has come to stay. And it is obviously the game changer. This is what has given the MPP stomach pains. It is what is coming, to inject and boost the Ghanaian economy. 24-hour economy. This is directly from the NDC Communications Bureau. Look, let's take a look at the ports and harbors. You know that when we send container or cars, or even those who do importation into Ghana, if you are not lucky to get your container cleared by 5 o'clock, you have to forget it. You will have to wait till the next day. If you are not lucky, 2-3 days before you could get your one container, either be it 20 foot or 40 foot cleared. So this is what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC are saying, that come 2025, because we are coming in 2024, December.
Okay.
That one, sorry, come 2025, right from the word go. Right from the word go,
yeah, we
are starting this 24-hour economy program. Ports and harbors are going to benefit. Not benefit, Ghana as a whole is going to benefit, but the specific areas or the key areas we are looking at are the ports and harbors, the passport offices. You said you won't agree with me till I have said it.
Yeah, I can't agree with you. I want you to convince me and convince my listeners.
Yes,
so
you are very much aware that in Ghana, our passport offices, just like the ports and harbors, even passport offices is worse. By 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you won't get any official at the passport office to attend to you. This is all going to change. When the 24-hour economy comes, of course, these places will be running shifts, either 2 or 3 shifts. And then once we have 2 shifts, 3 shifts, if the first set goes, let's say the first set about 1,500 people. Yeah. And then the second shift takes about another 1,500 people. The third shift should even take 500 people. Look at the amount of job creation this system is bringing just within one sector. Yeah. So then let's go again into DVLA. Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority.
Yeah.
Let's go there, and then let's this same effect going on at the ports and harbors, at the passport offices. Let us play this same record at the DVLE. Another close to 4,000 people are going to be employed. So if these three major how do we call it, major
areas or sectors,
major sectors have employed, we are getting to almost about 10,000 employment.
Yeah.
So, and then let us come to, that is the public sector. So let's come to the private sector of it. Let's go to this agro processing companies. And this same effect is going on over there. We will take about, let's say, 3,000 employment. And then let's move, this thing is going to have a ripple effect in the good direction. So let us look at the greater picture. Let us look at the greater picture of it.
Yes, everybody's looking at the greater picture of it. Okay, but our problem is the fact that we all have, I will call it highlights of what 24-hour economy is. And like you rightly said, okay, everybody agrees that certain sectors in Ghana might need 24-hour economy, and other sectors already are practicing 24-hour economy. An example, you used Hamburg as an example. Let me also use Hamburg as an example. Okay. Yes, our airport, our international airport, okay, does it run 24-hour? No, not. It doesn't run 24-hour, isn't it? But rightly, companies like Amazon run 24-hour, isn't it? So when your candidate or your flag bearer says that it's going to be the game changer, and making it look like it is a novel, that is where I, as a presenter, I have a problem with, because already the health sector in Ghana runs 24-hour, right? The security services run 24 hours. Okay, and some manufacturing companies also run 24 hours. And the MPP, okay, Honorable Bamba and his people are also saying that with what they are building, they think that they can facilitate it better, or already even entrepreneurs are already running 24-hour. And they go to give examples like, okay, somebody sitting in their house using the digitalization to sell his shoes or her clothing 24-hour and stuff like that. But yes, I get your point. But one thing I like about your 24-hour economy is that currently, okay, I'm using the word currently, but before I didn't like it because the explanation was not right. There was no specific areas you people were targeting, but I think now you are now targeting or now drawing a line between which sectors actually you want to emphasize this strategy on. It is good though. It is good. All right. Yes, the port should run 24 hours. Fine. But let's see how it goes. I don't know whether Hamburg port runs 24 hours. That I don't have much info. But
yes. Sita, let me come in. Hamburg airport.
Yeah.
Let's say the break in run is just about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Because I have worked myself there before.
Oh, okay. That's
yes, nice. as a boarding stewardess. Okay. So the break is from 12, let's say, is it 12:30? 12:30 to 4 a.m. It's just that break, just these 3-4 hours. That's it.
So you think we can do it in Ghana?
Even at that place, they have 4 shifts.
You think we can do that in Ghana?
It can easily be done in Ghana.
But Ghana, do you think that, let me ask this question before you continue. Do you think you have that enough traffic to run a 24-hour?
So when 24-hour starts and agro processing companies jump onto this wagon, when productivity increases, export is also going to increase. And then cash flow
You have a point there.
Obviously, exporting would say, okay, then let me bring into the country. You know, they would prefer bringing goods into the country rather than money. So import and export will be on a very German would say locker flow. So definitely we will be using the airport more than we are using now. And definitely
let me ask you this question again. Okay, I think you've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. Okay, agro industry.
Yeah.
Okay. How does this agro industry work with your 24-hour? You know, our agro industry more or less is peasant farming, where our people farm with hoe and cutlasses. They go to the farm in the morning, afternoon, or evening. They come back home. Do you expect them to go to the farm at night with torchlights, or what? How is it going to work?
No, I don't expect them to be farming in the night.
Okay.
I expect that when the farmers have harvested in the afternoon, and they have packed their produce in the warehouse, then the packers, those packing up, just like in Amazon, then they will be going in the evening, pack those produce either into sacks or boxes, ready for export. And then come the scenario of drivers who will be driving these produces down to wherever it will be driven to the airport or to wherever that will be flown outside the country, or to the manufacturing companies, those who will need those produce in Ghana to manufacture, you know, their whatever. So just look at the greater picture. Farmers would necessarily not, you know, work in the evening. Okay. But then people who are packing and packaging, those at the packing and packaging side, will be working in the evening to transport those produces down to the manufacturing site. These manufacturers would also transport these goods, you know, to the harbors and airports. And then that is where harbors and airports would also be working 24 hours to make sure these produces or goods are flown out of the country to wherever they are needed. So let's look at the greater picture. Let's embrace this concept of 24-hour economy. It's the game changer by all standards. When we start in 2025, I can promise, you know, with my chest out, that within 2 years of implementation, very well guided judiciously, this should be our breakthrough as a country.
Yeah, we hope and pray that that should be the breakthrough as a country. But it's just that your party's explanation to this whole system puts us in limbo, puts us in dilemma, that we don't actually know what the detail is. Okay, but I think that I'm beginning to appreciate the fact that some of you have this knowledge of which areas or which sectors that would benefit or that would go under this 24-hour economy, if already they are not under it. Okay, and those that are already under it, fine. But let me continue with this question and ask that: do you think that the digitalization of the MPP, as they are touting themselves for being the champions of it, will help push that that your 24-hour economy?
Sita, don't be deceived. Digitalization started within or even at the time President Mahama was in power. That was how come there was this Ghana Digital Center. Okay. Ghana Digital, yes, it was during President Mahama's days. Everything was in place for digitalization to take off very well before NDC left power. So Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, touting himself as the economic wizard, father of digitalization, is just something that we, the NDC, love. And it's not only us, but Ghana as a whole has come to see that no, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is actually living on the glory of President John Dramani Mahama, because everything was already in place. And you know, as let's say as a dadaba as he is, yes, he keeps screaming digitalization, digitalization, and everybody or ya kolebi and itimu ya nede enti ye jane say or the open on keka. But then you know that digitalization was during the time of President John Dramani Mahama. That was how came about the Ghana digitalization center. Or yes,
so if somebody or if the MPP also go like telling you that 24-hour economy has been in existence since Kwame Nkrumah's era, because factories like Galco and the rest were working 24-hour economy. Like I told you, the health sector is working 24-hour economy. Why do you politicians like to take credit of something that your predecessors have done, or like something that is coherent, that is running, whether you are in government or not in government? That is the nature of that industry. But you both seem to have that problem. My question was based on the fact that, okay, fine, they feel that they are creating this enabling environment for 24-hour economy to thrive, okay, to work properly. Do you agree with that? It's just a yes or no question.
Dr. Baumies, you know Dr. Baumies.
No, I'm not for now limiting it. I'm not for now limiting it to Dr. Baumia. I've just asked.
No. I just want to clarify something very quickly.
Okay, that's
Dr. Baumia's idea of 24-hour economy was linked to people buying wache online at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight after coming back from disco and clubs. That is not what we are talking about when we mean 24-hour economy. We mean serious business here. You can't tell me buying wache online at 12 o'clock after coming back from the club is 24-hour economy. No, we are talking about all this breakdown that I've given to you.
Yeah.
Trying to get produce from the farms, trying to package them, trying to bus or drive them to wherever they are needed to the manufacturers, and then shipping or flying them out of the country to its final destination. That is what we mean by 24-hour economy. So I won't agree with you that politicians they want to take glory for things they haven't done. You know that Ghana, when we talk about infrastructure or a party that has visible or visible things to touch or see, it's the NDC that has infrastructure that has built very good infrastructure within this short possible time. You forgive me, my English. I've been Dutch. I've been Dutch, so English is now very difficult for me.
Problem.
Yes, I can't flow how I want to flow.
Don't worry. I keep telling my listeners that we are not broadcasting from Ghana. Okay, we are broadcasting from Hamburg, Germany, and most of the Ghanaians living in Germany now, their English is gone due to the language Dutch.
The German will say wir haben verlernt.
So it makes these individuals, their English, they try to sound as if they are Germans, because the language German is more or less a capsided version of English. So it makes them find it very difficult speaking very good English nowadays. So my listeners and viewers know about that. So feel comfortable, okay, since they understand what you are saying, it doesn't really matter. And in this modern day world, okay, we want people to understand that, okay, you shouldn't be fluent in somebody's language to be an intelligent person, okay? It has to do with the substance you bring on board. It has to do with your personality, all right? So, like, I'm a Wala from Upper West in Ghana, okay? I can speak my own language, all right? So if somebody cannot speak my language, I don't care, but I can speak my language. I can speak somebody else's language, all right? So it is it is a dent on their part that they can speak my language and I can speak theirs. Okay. So Honorable Afi, feel free. Okay, your English is superb. Okay, and viewers would understand and appreciate it. My last question before I'll quickly let you go. Then I'll talk to the MPP honorable member. Afi, since you are a lady, okay, or a woman for that matter, your party once again have presented Jane. With all due respect to her and to my listeners, Prof Jane Mensah as
yes.
the running mate to the NDC the second time. Okay. Do you think she will make any difference this time around?
Recording in progress.
Can you hear me?
Recording stopped.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. So I asked the question, do you think Jane Nana Opoku Ajimine, right? Yes, can actually make a difference this time around?
Yes, I have believed in Professor Professor Nana Opoku Ajimine, and from day one. If you have studied closely, the NDC is a party that gives women very much chances, to showcase their ability to do whatever they want to do. And NDC backs you whenever the need arises. I'm also after
Professor Mensah.
Nana Ajimine has been a very, very, very remarkable woman all this while. Her coming into the race with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a perfect match, because look at her credentials. Not even that, that Sita, women are the backbone of every economy. If you want an economy, or if you even want your household to thrive very well and to make progress, it is the contribution of a woman. We are able to put things together. Women have foresight. Women can bring togetherness. Women nurture children. Women double as teachers. Women double as health practitioners. So we are an all-rounder species of human being. So it is very good that we find women in most of the top positions, because we have one thing: this instinct, this mother instinct. That is what guides us. So that there's a saying that wherever you see a successful man, there is a woman behind. So it is very clear that His Excellency giving Professor Nana Opoku Ajimine a second chance again, it shows how committed he is to the fact that he wants more women into his government. And the first, was it 20, when His Excellency was in power, you will see a lot of women in his cabinet. We saw he appointed a lot of women, because he knew that women are very good at getting the job done. So we all embrace his decision of taking Prof along with him once again. And we know that this time around, it is going to work marvelously well. We are all in support of her candidature. We are just waiting for her to march into the Jubilee House or Flagstaff House, come January 2025.
Let's hope that your prayer really comes true, because I know that the MPP is still breaking the 8 as they normally say. So if they are breaking the 8, that means that Prof. Jane would not be marching into the Flagstaff House, as you people call it, and they call it the Jubilee House. Again, my last question to you, okay, is MPP breaking the 8? Just in 2 minutes.
If we are to mark MPP now, with
is
things
MPP
happening,
breaking the 8?
I don't think so. It is a big no.
Okay.
It is a big no, because should I give reasons?
Yeah, just 1 or 2, because you have 2 minutes.
If we are to be marking the works of MPP now, here as I sit, I will give MPP. Let me be generous. I will give MPP a 15 over 100%.
And you are being generous. You are giving them 15 over your generally.
Yes, because
that is being mean, but not being generous.
I'm telling you the fact, because like I said, I can't see anything to show for it. That
have you chanced their is it manifesto tracker or is it achievement tracker?
We are talking about things that we can see physically.
Yeah, but when you look at that tracker, okay, it stipulates and also gives you evidences of some of the things they've done, and I think you should at least give them.
Are the things to be seen?
Yeah,
what happened to the Agenda 111?
Yeah, Agenda 111 is still in progress.
I haven't seen anything. All I keep seeing around Ghana is fish pond.
Yes,
fish pond and potholes.
Let me come in here. Okay, yes, Agenda 111 is still in progress. Okay, the last time I checked, I think somewhere last month, my producer might help me. Okay, we had a document on it showing various stages of completion. All right. And I can say that not all of them has been completed, but quite a number are quite advanced. Others have not even been started yet, not even a foundation dug for them. But others are fully completed.
So that is why MPP is not going to break the 8.
Yeah,
that is why MPP is not breaking the 8, because there are no physical physical things to touch. And what happened to the Agenda 88? What happened to Agenda 80? There will be 88 hospitals across the country.
So that is,
I haven't seen one.
So that is what was converted into Agenda 111, if my memory serves me right.
Yes.
And
so
like I said, they are building and haven't completed. Some have finished. I think I'll have to ask Honorable Salim Bamba on this same topic, so that maybe he can throw more light on that, though it wasn't part of something I wanted to find out from him. But I would ask him. I would ask him on that. Okay.
Yes. We want physical evidence. We want physical evidence, like the Ghana Terminal 3 airport.
You reminded me, producer. Can you post? Yes, so the Kumasi Airport, okay, it is being launched today.
It was started under His Excellency
come on. Wait.
It was even should have been commissioned even before he left office.
Producer, can you put pictures of the Kumasi Airport for me? And per the history, okay, the first hearing of it in Parliament was in 2016. Yes, November 2016, and the loan was actually approved and work started 2017, if my memory serves me right, or is it 2021? Then it was started by the MPP government, and for now, I think this is the stage at which they are now. They are launching it today, and I think just this afternoon, the whole government machinery is there. And the Kumasi Airport is being opened and commissioned for international use.
that means if it started in 2016, that means words or documentation or at all to get that work done in 2016 started way back somewhere in 2014.
No, I don't have much detail.
It didn't start right in 2016. So all these things were laid down. They were laid down procedures put in place before His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left government.
I don't believe that because
Of course.
I'm using the word I don't believe that because I have seen a contrary statement. I have seen a contrary statement from what's the name? Baumier's social media handler, Krabia Ashanti, talking about or proving evidences and documents to how the project started in their time and not as we all think it is from your side. So I think I'll have to revisit this with you next week if you are available so that we can dive into this airport issue so much. But kudos to both governments. This is what I actually like about politics, continuity of what projects, okay? I think Ghana has to keep that track and make sure that projects that are started by previous governments is being continued so that we can get value for money or value for the taxpayers' money. Because that issue of not continuing projects hasn't helped us so much as a country. Okay, I even have an issue with your candidate currently because when he came to power, his predecessor, his president, his boss at that time started certain projects that we were looking at. He would complete them, but he also started new ones altogether. Same happened with Nana Akufo-Addo when we were thinking that some of the projects that ex-president or former president Kufuor started, he would have come to finish some of them, but some are still hanging in there. And I think that doesn't help our political discussions and also the economy of Ghana at large. It's like we don't complete anything. Everything we start, we leave it somewhere else. Yes, but we'll revisit this airport issue. But I would say kudos to Ghana, kudos to the government of Ghana. I'm not being political here. I mean the government of Ghana, which include every citizen of Ghana, for making sure that Kumasi Airport is a reality today. That it is an international one, that flights can leave other countries and land in Kumasi Airport. So I believe that my next visit home, I'll be flying straight to Kumasi and not through Accra and to transit to Kumasi. Yeah, so Honorable Afi, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know you are very tired. I had to hook you up this evening. I do appreciate it, and I believe that my listeners also do. So in 1 minute, what is your last words to our viewers and listeners, and also to your party faithfuls?
Yes, so this message goes especially to people in Ghana.
Yeah,
we know the struggle you have been through in this last or past 7 to 8 years. God willingly, come December this year, 2024, once you have life, then you should know that you are counted among the lucky ones, because God has given you another opportunity, but this time around, to choose wisely, to choose a government that has your interest at heart, to choose a government that is coming to make sure that you are okay, a government that thinks about your health, a government that thinks about your education, a government that thinks about your pockets. And this government is the NDC government. So please, Ghanaians, this December 2024, just like how some of my comrades will say, it is boot for boot. Boot for boot doesn't mean we are coming to fight. It is that we are coming to kick this corrupt MPP government. This MPP government of one day, one scandal, every day and its scandal. We are coming to kick this party out from government. And the NDC is coming to build Ghana, the Ghana that we want together. There will be more jobs through this 24-hour economy. So Ghanaians, this is for us. Yensemu pa.
I like that.
Ghana for yebema ye ni adaho. Yebe ye nyehwe han na ma ye mfa 9 and na ye 6.
That's fine.
Ye ton black and white ye color TV na ye mfa nkoje black and white. Dr. Bawumia wadadaye. Wose ye mfa sti ya ne ma no wo su te sa kwala ya gele tofe anase ni football e free nsem. Ghana for afi we dey ye monsempa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The General Secretary. of the NDC Germany chapter. Afi, I have some people who are giving you shout outs. Grace Teko says that Afi, Honorable One. Also, Rich also says that Miller, you are looking great. Okay. And also, is it Violet? Violet Golan is also wishing you well.
Yeah, that is my colleague as well at work. I don't know whether she's even understanding because she's not.
Yes, so
she's German.
Yes, and many more messages on your behalf. Okay, that means that you are doing great. And like I rightly said, okay, I know you are one of the strong NDC people in the diaspora, and I pray and hope that okay, your national will actually appreciate your efforts. Okay, and also okay, take good care of yourself. Okay, and
thank you very much.
Go to Ghana to campaign for your candidate.
Of course.
It's not easy for him. So thank you once again, and have a good evening, my dear.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you
a pleasure.
so much. Yes. So listeners and viewers, that is Afi for you. Okay, the lady is on fire. She is the General Secretary for the NDC Germany chapter. And also,
oh no, a correction. I am executive member of the Germany chapter.
Oh, okay.
I just double up as a secretary for Hamburg branch.
Okay, okay. So, viewers and listeners, pardon me. That's why normally I allow them to do the introduction, because their political positions are just so complicated and cumbersome that if you don't take care, you might just make a mistake somewhere. Yes, Honorable Bamba. I don't know if my honorable is still with me. So, I think I need to see. Honorable, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable. And sorry for keeping you waiting, because this show today was not for more or less like a debate kind of discussion. I just wanted to have exclusive discussion with both of you separately. But so I would quickly say that you don't have the right to to banter or to have a take on some of the things she rightly said directly, because I'm not trying to engage the two of you in the same topics, because your area of discussion is a specialized one too, and I think listeners will be very much interested in knowing what you do and what your government is doing in that sector, because others think that your sector or your area of work is the make or break in these general elections. So if you don't mind, and with all due respect, I do restrict you from responding to her. You're not supposed to respond to her. If you have discussions towards in that regard, fair enough, but you are not supposed to respond to her. So yes, my viewers and listeners, this is Honorable Salim Bamba, the Ashanti Regional Nasara Coordinator, who also doubles as the, I think, administrator of the Middle Belt, or is it the CEO of the Middle Belt? If I'm wrong, he would correct me there. So you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
This is really a difficult one, and I really want to also respect your views and your programming as far as this program is concerned. Difficult in the sense that my beautiful sister had made several comments and assertions that most are very much untrue, and it is not based on facts and figures. But I want to really respect your views and your program generally. If not, there are a lot of clarity that I would have wished, if you give me leave, that at least for the sake of our listeners, not for us, and not for the sake of banter or argument whatsoever, but for the fact that we want to sell the truth and nothing but the truth. We want to air facts as we are, rather than propaganda. I would beg, if at least some 5 minutes will be given so that we'll be able to clear certain doubts that our dear sister had made, just for the sake of our listeners.
Yes, so your appeal is also very difficult for me now because I'm trying to be fair because probably after my interaction with you, she might also have one or two things to say, and she wouldn't be available to also respond to that, and that will put me in a very bad light. Though I know her that she's not that type. She takes things very good, but my listeners might see that probably I kind of ambushed her so that you will get your way, and that is what I don't want. So what I'm gonna do for you rather is that I'll give you 2 minutes, not 5 minutes, just 2 minutes. Okay, then we can delve into the main.
I'll try and make I'll try as I'll try as much to be able to speak within the 2 minutes. Firstly, I'll start from where she ended in the discussion about the Kumasi International Airport. Really, I want to suggest that she doesn't have the facts there. And it is the case that the history of the Kumasi airports then and today, Prempeh, the first, Ghana Prempeh, the first international airport, has started way back even before independence. And governments over the years have made certain contribution to the formation of this edifice that today is being commissioned by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The facts are that during the tenure of the former President John Dramani Mahama, I think sometime in 2014, some work done at the Kumasi airport then was the fixing of some lights around the old airport where the old building, the terminal building, is located. But as we speak, a new terminal building has been built. New car parks, runways have been extended from 1,800 to 2,300. And all that has been done. Anything that is supposed to be done that befits an international airport has been clearly done by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And sword was cut sometime in 2018 for the commencement of work for the phase 2. And whilst that was done in 2018, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also cut sword for the second phase of the expansion of the Kumasi International Airport, which indeed was expected to even be completed in 24 months. However, it exceeded the completion dates as we speak. And in 2019 April, the Parliament of Ghana approved a budget of 58.9 million for the phase 3 of the Kumasi International Airport. And these are the facts. And as we speak today, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, has commissioned the international airports to the glory of God. Are you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Very good.
Okay.
So that is what it is. So for that matter, it is important that we set that record straight. And also in respect of the explanation with regards to the 24-hour economy proposed by His Excellency His Excellency the former President John Dramani.
So honorable Bamba, I will limit you there because, like I said, this is so you have gotten your bite on a subject that she really touched on, and I think listeners do appreciate that. But let me give you just one question on that same airport issue, so that we can move on to the next topic, or why actually we asked to have an interview with you. When you were talking, you talked about phases. Okay. I do remember somewhere 2016, okay, John Dramani Mahama added, or the NDC added it into their achievement that they had worked on the phase 1 of that airport. So if my memory serves me right, even from what you rightly said, it is a continuous affair. So since independence, okay, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah started something and it got to President Kufuor, then to Atamil's John Mahama, and then today the international airport being commissioned for use, isn't it? So that means that, give or take, Afi has some facts based on the fact that her government at that time also contributed, like you rightly mentioned, lightening the runway and stuff like that, right? Are you with me, Honorable Bamba? Honorable Bamba, are you?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, the line was breaking.
Okay, so can you? Good. Your camera is perfect now. A phase to the total completion of the Kumasi Airport, as in the phase 1.
Yeah. What the former president did in 2016 was the lighting system that was added just to make the place quite brighter, without the extension of the run.
Yeah, so I think
whatsoever. From scratch was started by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, having cut sword in 2018. So that is what it is. So this is almost to say a complete building of an international airport.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now I understand. So it looks like the old structure or the old airport. There are two different projects. If my memory, like with what you are explaining, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So as we speak, the old terminal building is what the Passion Air and Africa World Airlines, the domestic airlines, operate from. So they are not operating from the new terminal building. So once this is now commissioned, an international airport, the information I'm having from the Ghana Airport Company is that the old terminal building that is being operated by the domestic flights will be demolished completely. So the new international airport will be operating both international flights and domestic flights. So this is a building that has been built by scratch from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, runways extended by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, car parks being done by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the air traffic regulator being done by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and all that befits an international airport done by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So that is what it is.
Okay, so listeners and viewers, you can hear Honorable Bamba on the topic of the Kumasi Airport or Kumasi International Airport. Now, prepare what? You mentioned the name. I didn't get that right.
Prepare the first international airport.
Prepare the first international airport. Yeah, so he's explaining that this is a totally different project from the old one that we used to know, that his government and his President Akufo-Addo started this one from scratch, and they have completed and commissioned it for use. So that is a very good one, if it is so. So enough of your will I call it addressing some of the issues Honorable Afi actually raised. So you are the Nasara coordinator for Ashanti region, the heart of your party, and also the World Bank of your party. And first of all, Mr. Bamba, can you tell me, when we say Nasara, what is it about, and why Ashanti region?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is an important one, especially considering the time we are in. Sincerely, the Nasara is a special wing of the party as we speak today.
Yeah.
In the past, it used not to be a wing of the party. The New Patriotic Party used to have two special organs, namely the Youth Independence Wing. But today, in 2018, the party constitution went through amendment. And as part of the amendment that featured prominently in the new Patriotic Party constitution is the making of the Nasara as a special organ of the party, as stipulated in Article 15.5 of the New Patriotic Party constitution. In the past, prior to the 2000 election, former President John Agyekum Kufuor was of the view that predominantly Zongo people, the Zabarma, the Fulani people, the Gao people, the Songhai people from the Songhai Empire, and generally the Hausa people and all that, are people who do not really find favor for the New Patriotic Party. So after the 1996 general election, going into the 2000 elections, the need came that we needed to form a club so to mobilize the Zongo people for the New Patriotic Party. So it was a canvassing tool that was supported by the then chairman, Jake Oshanka Obeche Belamte, to get that, so to speak, an association or a club of the sorts to galvanize support for the New Patriotic Party in the Zongo communities. So this club started way back in 2000 and contributed significantly to the victory of John Agyekum Kufuor in the 2000 general election. Since then, the Nasara had been a club from 2000 to 2018. At the point, it was considered an appointed position within the executive setup at the constituency, at the regional level, and at the national level. Until 2018, when it became an elected position, and also with more deputies, with deputies at the national level, and one deputy at the regional level, and one deputy also at the constituency level. So basically, the Nasara is now a special organ of the party that is galvanizing support within the Zongo communities in order to demystify that notion that the New Patriotic Party does not support the Zongo people, and that the Zongo people are also not comfortable with the New Patriotic Party due to certain happenings in the past, such as the Aliens Compliance Order and what have you. So all these things happened in the past during the Ruzia regime, which to a large extent until date, we are paying the wrath, and we are bearing the wrath of that singular policy decision of the then Ruzia government. However, the Nasara wing of the party and the association of the Zongo people and the Northern people with the New Patriotic Party is also historical. Because it's historical, we are trying as much as possible as part of our strategy in galvanizing support for the New Patriotic Party within these areas to remind our people that the New Patriotic Party is the singular political party that brings everybody together in its formation in the past. There's no political party in Ghana that galvanized or brought about everybody on board in its formation The New Patriotic Party is the only political party in Ghana that had brought together everybody from all walks of life, ethnic background, and all that in its formation. And that is evidence in what we call the United Party that brought about the Northern People's Party, the Muslim Association Party, the Progress Party, and all other political parties, the Gashi Fimopi from the Greater Accra region, the Togoland Congress from the Volta region, and all that. All these political parties were then formed. You remember, before the 1992, or even before the formation of UP, it used to be the CPP and other political parties. And all those political parties were formed based on either religion, based on location, and what have you. So that was how political parties were formed in the past. And when former President Kwame Nkrumah won election and became the Prime Minister and President of the Republic, he decided to bar all political parties that are religious in character, all political parties that are one location specific, to become a national party. And that was what brought about the formation of the United Party. So clearly, it's a tradition that has brought about everybody from all sectors of, or so to speak, from all locations, regions, and all of them became members of the United Party. So clearly, this is a party that do not discriminate, and that the Nasara wing of the party is taking that as mandated by the New Patriotic Party Constitution to ensure that we sell the message across the Zongo communities, to the northern communities, so their understanding will be quite clear that this is a political party that is national in character, that does not discriminate whatsoever. And it is also evident in the reason why since 1992, you will realize when we have a southern presidential candidate, we have a northerner to be the running mate of the presidential candidate. That has been our tradition till date. And now in 2024, that we have a northerner as the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, we anticipate an appointment of a southerner as the running mate to the presidential candidate in Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud.
Okay, so wow, that was a detailed history about Nasara. Let me quickly go this way. You also double as the CEO for the Middle Belt Development.
Middle Belt
Authority. Yeah. So what is that? What does it do? What do you people do? How does that translate into your work?
You remember in 2016, when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his running mate then, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, promised in the manifesto the creation of the Zongo Development Fund, a special purpose vehicle to bring development to the Zongo people. This was a promise grounded on research. Research has said that Zongo communities are deprived. They have issues of sanitation, poverty issues. The gap between the Zongo community and other secular communities in Ghana is wide. And that for the country to develop very well, so to speak, there is the need to create a special purpose vehicle to bring about expedited development in communities that are to a large extent deprived. So the Zongo Development Fund was created and was by an act of parliament in 2018, and it started work till date. Mind you, the Zongo community is not the only community that is deprived in the country. We have inner city communities that are also deprived.
What we call the slums.
What we call the slums.
Okay.
But this, after winning election in 2016, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo further went ahead to create a ministry for inner city and Zongo development, to oversee the activities of the inner cities and also to oversee the activities of the Zongo Development Fund. Today we have the presidential coordinator for the Zongo and Inner City Development Secretariat called Honorable Ben Abdallah Banda. And we have the CEO for the Zongo Development Fund, Dr. Suleiman Arafat. Dr. Suleiman Arafat, because I'm speaking on this platform, which is a diasporan platform, let me also say that Dr. Suleiman Arafat was a diasporian. He was the chairman for the MPP UK until his appointment as the CEO for the Zongo Development Fund. He was the Nasara coordinator UK in the past before he became the chairman for the MPP UK. And today he is the CEO for the Zongo Development Fund. So that is how come the Zongo Development Fund was created. And Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said, I want this fund to operate from my office. It is not going to be an office just so created and it will just be on its own. This is a fund that is being operated under the office of the president. That tells you how dedicated and so dear the creation of the Zongo Development Fund is to His Excellency, the President, and for that matter, the New Patriotic Party. So the Zongo Development Fund has been doing a lot of work. It is the only agency in Ghana that does every kind of development. You know, we have agencies that are specialized in certain areas.
Yeah.
When we say, for example, we have Ghana Tourism Authority, they are specifically dealing with tourism and its-related matters. When we talk about even a ministry such as the Ministry for Roads and Highways, it specifically does construction of roads and all that. But when we talk about Zongo Development Fund does roads. Zongo Development Fund builds infrastructure in the form of classroom blocks. It constructs water systems across Zongo communities. It constructs sporting facilities across Zongo communities. You don't say it is the Ministry for Youth and Sports that constructs sporting facilities. The Zongo Development Fund has the mandate to construct any developmental activity that is needed within the Zongo communities. The Zongo Development Fund has the authority and mandate to do so. So at Zongo Development Fund,
Honorable, with this you have just said, okay, so can I ask this question? Does it mean that it is the citizenry of the Zongo that decide what is to be developed or what they need, or per research that has been conducted informs what a particular Zongo really needs?
Exactly what it is. That was exactly where I was even driving at.
Okay.
Any project that is done by the Zongo Development Fund in any particular Zongo community was requested by the Zongo community. So you would realize that when you go to Medina, for example, there is the Sheikh Usman Nu Sharubutu Sports Complex being done. This was a park that was, in our local parlance, we say a Sakura Park.
Yeah.
Very dusty.
Grassless park.
Exactly, a grassless park. What we felt was that the National Chief Imam does his Maulid, annual Maulid there. Big events happens there in Fadama, and that it was an eyesore for dignitaries, international dignitaries, and all that would attend such programs, and it is not befitting of a place. So an AstroTurf sports complex was done for the people of Fadama and Fadamata in honor of the National Chief Imam. That is so instructive. Also, you go to other communities such as Aswase, you go to other communities like Edra. Edra has issues with drainage. Edra is a constituency in the Ashanti region. It had issues with drainage, especially in communities that we call Mimpasem. These are communities that are so deprived to a large extent. And it is the Zongo Development Fund that was able to intervene to do drains along the streets of Mimpasem. And today, as we speak, the issues of flooding is a thing of the past in that community. You go to communities such as the Kwabri East, where they are interested in toilet facilities, they are interested in classroom blocks in several basic schools across the constituency. You go to Achumamwa South, where they are also interested in toilet facilities. And interestingly, in Achumamwa South constituency in Ashanti region, they used to have a toilet facility that was dilapidated. It was not in use. The Zongo Development Fund had to intervene to ensure that a new facility is built for the good people of Achumamwa South, specifically in Kawie Zongo. And today, as we speak, proceeds from the toilet facility that was built by the Zongo Development Fund is used to construct or to renovate the old existing toilet facility within that same community. So just imagine the government of Ghana, through the Zongo Development Fund, building a new toilet facility, and the proceeds of that facility being able to renovate to a large extent to reconstruct another toilet facility serving the good people of Nkawia Zongo. So these are some of the things that are done by the Zongo Development Fund. But apart from that, award of scholarships and also fee supports for needy but brilliant students within the Zongo communities is something that the Zongo Development does in terms of educational development within the Zongo communities and what have you. Issues of sanitation, issues of trade and entrepreneurial development. It is things that we have been doing, training Zongo people in certain skills such as bead making, soap making, plumbing, such as electrical wiring, and all that. All these are trainings that the Zongo Development Fund has done over the years in several Zongo communities across the country. So really, I would say the Zongo Development Fund, the idea of its creation by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has really yielded positive results within the Zongo communities. And the idea generally is to raise the development within the Zongo communities to be at par with communities, secular communities within the country, so that it will propel growth and general development of our country, Ghana. We don't want a situation whereby deprived communities such as the Zongo and settler communities will be drawing back the development of the country. In fact, it is akin to say that you have a cross-section of the Ghanaian people who are highly educated, who understand the trajectory that the government and, for that matter, the country is going, while other people are uneducated and find difficult to find place to fit in to the trajectory of development that the country is pursuing. It is clear the reason why you hear people from the NDC who really do not understand what we talk about development, the digitalization agenda that His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is championing and all that, and what it solves in terms of, example, you talk about 24-hour economy, where we talk about it is an end, or it is a policy, or is it a concept. Till date, it is difficult that each and every one of us will understand whether when somebody talks about 24-hour economy, it is really a concept, it is a policy, or it is an end to a means. It is very difficult for us to understand, and we have conflicting explanations with regards to what really 24-hour economy is. But for us, we believe that when we talk about 24-hour economy, we are talking about an end, not a means to an end. So an end to what we talk about digitalization and what it does. At the end of the day, you can achieve a 24-hour economy through certain policy interventions that you bring about, such as the address system that we have, such interventions such as the Ghana card that His Excellency the Vice President has championed, such as the e-passport acquisition that we're talking about. All these things are interventions that are means to achieving a certain end. In Ghana today, we have several other institutions that operate a 24-hour economy. Our security agencies operate 24 hours. Our health sector institutions operate 24 hours. So all these things, I'm just drawing home.
Yes, I understand. I understand you are just drawing home a point and linking it up to the 24-hour economy of the NDC. But I'm still interested in the zongos and slums. And the reason why I'm cutting you is that, okay, I really want to understand something. I have gotten a lot of discussions with people in the diaspora, and especially the Zongo community, especially when I go to the mosques. And like I rightly said in my introduction, it looks like the Nasara and the Zongo Development Fund or Authority is the make or break to this elections 2024. Why? Because of the candidates currently your party has elected as your flag bearer. Now, this same community or this enclave of people are largely known not to be your fan or your sympathizers. And yes, still, from what you have said so much today, a lot of things being done by your government in these areas. And yes, still, when we just look at the last elections in 2020, okay, the figures from some of these settler communities or Zongo communities does not reflect some of these achievements you are touting tonight. Do you really think that the Nasara or the Zongo Development Authority or Fund is really the make or break? And how are you going to make sure that some of these achievements are being translated into, what I call them, votes for your party going into 2024 elections?
I must say that the New Patriotic Party mooted the idea of Zongo Development Fund just to bring development to the Zongo people.
And have you done that?
And if the Zongo people really want... Have you done that?
Have you sent development to the Zongo people?
Yes, of course. A lot of developments to the Zongo communities, and it is so glaring for everybody within the Zongo community and even people outside the Zongo community to attest to that. There will question about whether or not that intervention will translate into votes into the general, the 2024 general election. Yes, it's a big question. I must admit that the Zongo community is a stronghold of a certain political party. It will take us some time for the narrative to change entirely. But I can say on authority, and based on the facts and figures available to us, and figures that have been presented to the presidency after the 2020 general election, an indication of an appreciation of the vote gains that we had in the 2020 general election as compared to what we have in the 2016 general election. Since 2000 general election till date, the votes of the New Patriotic Party in the Zongo communities keeps appreciating by the day. And that is the reason why the National Democratic Congress quickly also created what they called the Zongo Caucus. The question is that, will you create a special office for the mobilization of Zongo people, when you have an existing structure within your party that is operating in your comfort zone, the New Patriotic Party has not created anything unique to mobilize votes within its predominant areas. But the NDC felt the need to create another office called the Zongo Caucus to mobilize support or to entrench their support base within the Zongo communities, just by the creation of the Nasara wing of the New Patriotic Party.
Yeah.
So that in itself should tell you the significant inroads that the New Patriotic Party is making through the Nasara wing of the New Patriotic Party in the Zongo communities. That is not in doubt. And going into the 2024 general election, whether or not the Zongo people will come out in their numbers to entirely change the statistics in such a way that the New Patriotic Party would have more than what the National Democratic Congress would have within the Zongo communities. That, I think, would be a question of whether they want the development that is being done within the Zongo communities through the Zongo Development Fund and other agencies that are not specially created for the Zongo communities, but bringing development to the Zongo communities. That is a question that we want our Zongo people to come to terms with. We must admit that the creation of the Zongo Development Fund till date and the work that it is doing, we do not know what exactly the NDC will be doing with the Zongo Development Fund. But in 2020 general election, what we were told by the National Democratic Congress was that the Zongo Development Fund will be cancelled. Until date, because in the absence of any further clarity on whether or not they still stand by cancelling the Zongo Development Fund, what we can see for now is that the Zongo Development Fund will be non-existent. It will be extinct when the new National Democratic Congress come to power. So that is what it is. But I want to remind our people, the Zongo people especially, in 2012, former President John Dramani Mahama promised the Zongo people a special purpose vehicle for the development of the Zongo community. He won election based on that failed promise. However, the people voted for him in 2012. He never delivered on his promise. He promised the Zongo people the creation of a permanent Hajj board, and it is going to be legislated. He governed between 2000, he and the North Mahama administration, between 2008 and 2016. That's never happened within that period. And instructively, this was a promise made when the entire Zongo chiefs and imams paid a courtesy call on him at the then Flagstaff House, the seat of government, and to congratulate him for the victory in the 2012 general election. This is instructive. This is a slap on the face of the Zongo people. You go to congratulate a certain president who have won election in 2012, promised heaven and earth, but never delivered between the entire 4-year duration of his government. I don't know what kind of promise that he would come to. He would promise the good people of the Zongo communities across Ghana, and they would stand by that and go and vote for him. I believe that the Zongo community is in a very good and peaceful marriage with the New Patriotic Party, and that there's no turning back.
Okay, so with all that you have said, okay, let me carve this question this way and see how you're gonna respond it, because it's very important to some of us in the diaspora. Okay, the Zongo communities largely you people have championed education. Just today, I heard in the local news in Ghana that the current BEC, okay, they would be writing Arabic as part of the languages or as part of the courses going forward, which I think that might be a plus to you and the Nasara or Zongo fraternity. But then, Mr. or Honorable Bamba, what is the plan in making sure that education, both in Arabic and secular education in these Zongo communities, is adhered to and improved? Because we all know that we have a lot of youth, okay, and in these communities. And there are two major things that they engage in. One is sports, and two is education. Yes, I do agree, and I do testify that, yes, you are building a lot of football facilities in these Zongo communities under the Zongo Development Authority. Yes, I can testify one or two, though my own constituency, Asawasi, we haven't gotten ours yet. Again, I want to know, okay, what is the master plan for these two important things that the youth of the Zongo do engage in, especially the education.
Arabic was made, yes, Arabic was made examinable subject in 2018. In 2017, when the Youth Party won general election, it was made examinable, and since then examinable subject. It is optional, because we are in a secular community. It is not everybody who is interested in writing Arabic.
Yeah.
Just as not everybody is also interested in writing French. Not everybody is interested in writing Twi and all that. So it is examinable. And so it's just as it is delivered on all other processes. Education truly is key to the development of nations. And Zongo communities, as you rightly mentioned, a agenda on the table at a basic level. If education is not given, then it will be very difficult for development to come to our various homes, our various communities, and the nation. Sita, if you will remember, when President Kufuor became president in the year 2000 and saw the deficit, the number of people across the country who were not attending at least basic education. Basic education was very difficult. They don't attend. President Kufuor decided that every Ghanaian should go to school free and insisted on the free compulsory universal basic education. As an incentive to ensure that all these students attend and obtain basic education, what we call capitation was introduced to ensure that children would be incentivized to go to school.
Yeah.
Sometime in 2004, 2005, 2006, an addition was made, an intervention of the school feeding program to incentivize kids, small children, to attend and obtain basic education. These policies are still in existence. And you remember, in 2008, when President Kufuor was exiting, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised that free senior higher education would also apply. It was a build-up on the policy, on the number of children that we are churning out from the junior high school. So that thinking within the New Patriotic Party was, at the time, was that whilst we are encouraging a lot of children to be enrolled for basic education, the expectation is that a lot more of them will be moving into the second cycle institutions. And the expansion of these institutions must be done. You can't educate pupils at the basic level and relegate them at the second cycle level. And that is also the reason why we have made it a point for second cycle institutions, the free senior higher education that came in 2017, that is also applying till now. You remember Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, just so the development of education within the Zongo communities would reach the pedestal of other secular communities, we introduced the building of the model senior high schools. The model senior high schools were to be built in the 10 regions. We had funding issues due to the COVID-19, economies across the country. We were thinking about saving lives rather than pumping monies into the development. But for all these, as we speak, we will be talking about 10 model senior high schools. But this has also been promised by the flag bearer of our party today, that these model senior high schools must happen within the Zongo communities.
And so, meaning that they haven't happened?
It must happen.
Has it happened?
It is still
okay.
No, for now we don't have any of the model senior high schools. But the thinking of the building of the model senior high school for the Zongo communities alone is enough to tell the people of the Zongo community that this is a party, this is a government that thinks about the educational development of the Zongo people. If funding was not done, that is the more reason why funding was not available. It is the more reason why the Zongo people should have faith with the New Patriotic Party and vote one of their own, who is today the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, to come and effectualize that promise of the model senior high schools that was promised. So for me,
so Bamba, let me
have been so much particular about the development of education in the Zongo community.
That's fine. So let me be the devil's advocate here. Can you mention just one project that the Zongo Development Authority or Fund has done in any of these Zongo communities, especially within your enclave of Ashanti region?
Yeah, I think I even mentioned some earlier. But when you go to Asawase constituency, your own constituency, you go to Sakafia Senior High School, expansion of classroom blocks, I think a 12-unit classroom block for the Sakafia Senior High School, done by the Zongo Development Fund. You go to Watania Islamic School in the Asawase constituency, 6-unit classroom block, done by the Zongo Development Fund. The pavement of the entire compound of the Watania Islamic School done by the Zongo Development Fund through His Excellency the Vice President, of course, and also computer laboratory done by the Zongo Development Fund for Watania Senior High School. You go to Nuria, also in Asawase constituency, 6-unit classroom block done by the Zongo Development Fund. You go to Nasiria, 6-unit classroom block done by the Zongo Development Fund.
So I can mention. I just narrate everything on my constituency because I'm the one asking you those questions. Wow.
Yeah, you are the one asking. So I'm starting from your constituency, So now let's move from.
No, I don't have much time, because I have a living witness to some of your policies. Okay.
Yes.
In the diaspora here, okay. She's Akosia Boateng. She's online now waiting. But let me ask this question. I ask every MPP person I have interviewed so far. Okay, and I give you 2 minutes to respond. Is the MPP breaking the 8? Honorable Bamba, are you with me? Don't run away from my question. And I pray that this network doesn't allow him run away. Yeah, Honorable Bamba, are you with me? Yes, okay.
Come again, please.
Yes. Are you with me? Your network is breaking.
My network it's been raining here, so the network keeps interrupting.
Yeah, so I think that your digitalization agenda still needs to improve and strengthen since rains can still affect technology flow in Ghana. Yeah, so
we're in Africa, so that is what it is.
Yeah, so my question is that
the solution is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes, so my question is that, okay, I've asked this same question to almost everybody, okay, within your party or even outside your party. In 2 minutes, tell the listeners and viewers, is MPP breaking the 8 and how in 2 minutes?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is an important question. I have no scintilla of doubt in my mind that the MPP is breaking the 8. The MPP is not just breaking the 8 by word of mouth. It is going to be by dint of hard work, by appealing to the people of Ghana not to toy with the future of our country. Honestly, I often tell people that the level of work done by this government, if care is not taken and a different person comes to take over the governance of our country, Ghana, we are going to be in a state of doom. The reason is very simple. Looking at what this government is doing in the railway sector, looking at what the government is doing in the health sector, the Agenda 111 hospital projects that are being built, if a new government comes, it is coming with its own priority, which is going to make a whole nonsense about all that we are doing over the years. Tita, in 2000 to 2008, when President Kufuor was president, we were talking about Eurojet projects, hospitals that are being built across the country. A new government came to power, never completed these projects, and it's the government of the New Patriotic Party is the government that has come back after 16 years to complete all those projects that were started by the erstwhile Kufuor administration. We still talk about them when we should be talking about new inventions, when we should be talking about new ideas. It is the same old story that is going to happen in an unlikely event that the National Democratic Congress wins the general election of 7th December 2024. A lot that is happening in the area of digitalization. Remember, President Kufuor, when he started about the idea of getting a Ghana card, an identity for the good people of Ghana, a new government came and was not able to provide for itself, even a single ID card. It took an additional 16 years when that erstwhile Kufuor administration of the New Patriotic Party, now led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, comes to government before Ghana cards, an identity that you are a Ghanaian, was implemented and being done across the country. Everybody, over 15 million, 17 million Ghanaians are having Ghana card today. Do we want a repeat of that same situation? The understanding of the 4th industrial revolution that we are in, the 21st century Ghana that we are all in, the 21st century world that we are in, we have a political party in Ghana that do not understand where the world is walking through. They do not understand it. We cannot go back to the Stone Age, Sita. Voting for the National Democratic Congress will mean that we are going back to the Stone Age. So passionately, I am appealing to the good people of Ghana. For the sake of our nation, Ghana, this is a national agenda. This is not a party agenda. Let's all be void of whatever economic conditions, the cost of living that we're talking about. Sita, you are in Hamburg as we speak. The cost of fuel in Hamburg is 2.1 euro. The last time when I was in Hamburg, I checked and it was 2.1 euro. When you convert 2.1 euro, it's about 30 something Ghana cedis in Ghana per liter. But in Ghana today, the cost of fuel per liter is around 14 Ghana cedis. So that is what it is. 14 Ghana cedis is still expensive, but it is lower by exchange rates. When we are converting 2 euro, 2.1 euro in Hamburg to what we buy here in Ghana. So the cost of living, the cost of doing business, inflation, etc., is across the globe. It is not different anywhere. And that we need to let our people understand that this is the situation on the ground. Let's not go and punish the New Patriotic Party government just for the mere fact that the cost of living is hard. It is an admission that this party has admitted that indeed it is hard, but there's a reason. Because between 2016 and 2020, when there was no pandemic, when there was no war in Ukraine, and what have you, the economy of Ghana was superb. It was one of the leading economies in the world.
Wow.
So that is what it is. So we are pleading with the good people of Ghana that indeed we have difficulties in our economy, which is no different across the world, but let's not punish the New Patriotic Party for what it has not created for itself.
That's fine. Wow. Honorable Bamba has pleaded with the Ghanaians, home and abroad, not to punish the NPP over something or over a crisis that they didn't create. I pray and hope that the good Ghanaians would listen to you. Just as Honorable Afi also asked them not to listen to you. Let's see what the voter would do come December 2024. My good listeners, I think we have spent so much time. Normally we close at 10 o'clock, but because we have a guest like Honorable Salim Bamba, an Ashanti Regional Nasarawa Coordinator, and also I think the administrator for the Middle Belt, or the Middle Belt Authority, means that he's a groundsman. He knows what is actually happening with the Ghanaian citizen and also with policymakers and policies at large. We are very honored and favored to have gotten him today to host this show today. My producer would want to make sure that he hooks up to him so that issues relating these topics and his areas of work, we would reach out to him anytime we need such information. So Honorable Bamba, from my producer, he appeals that you should make yourself available to the listeners and also viewers of TopAfric Radio, both in diaspora and at home Ghana, anytime we need you. Once again, I want to say thank you very much for making time to be with us. And we do appreciate the time you have spent so much. And in fact, there are a lot of messages and comments that I don't know how to start with them. But let's say Spooky says that, wow, that he wonders why you are not part of the communication team of the the government. But I think you are part of the communication team, right?
Oh yeah.
Good. And a lot of comments of good submissions, and they would vote for MPP. Let's hope so. Let's pray and hope that your dreams also come true, as Afi or Honorable Afi is also praying that her dreams come true. So Ghanaians and listeners and viewers of Top Afric and Top Politics, yet again my time is fast spent, so I would beg and hope that next week Friday from 8 to 10 as usual, we sit together to discuss and to listen to some of these policies, and also take cue as to what is good for us and what is good for our nation, Ghana. We cannot build a nation by listening to one person. We cannot build a nation by the hopes and aspirations by one person. We can build it together as Ghanaians and also as Africans. This world has become a global village, and I always entreat that let's all build it together, but rather not distracted. Okay, today all my guests mostly are not in studio. I host them online, making a very good example of what the world being a global village. I'll be very happy to see that the digitalization agenda of Ghana is actually strengthened, so that we don't get this network interruptions, so that we can always have them discuss more and more. Yes, Mr. Rabiu Inusa says that good works, we should keep it up. Dr. Amma says that good evening and welcome to the studios, Honorable Bamba, and many more. And you see, one other comment that came from Rabiu says that some of us, the grassroots, really find it difficult to get opportunities and even scholarship to study both local and in the diaspora. Yeah, so Bamba, I think this is one of your people within the Zongo community who has just sent this message. So please take cue and let's see how you can help such people to get some of these opportunities to study abroad. Yes, so listeners, time will not permit us again. So I say thank you once again and may God bless us. So from me, Sita, the Eagle, and my producer, Johnny, the dynamic man and hardworking producer, I say thank you and good night. See you same time next week.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.